Hola gente de Shock, bienvenidos a este streaming Shock con un invitado muy especial. Estamos con la banda Kongos, una banda que tiene raíces en todo el mundo, Suráfrica, Londres, ahora están radicados en Estados Unidos. Le damos la bienvenida a Danny, Johnny y Dylan. Cuatro de los tres hermanos, tres de los cuatro hermanos están acá, un cuarto se quedó en el hotel descansando para el show que tendrán mañana en Armando Records a las 8 de la noche. Están acá para contarnos un poco de lo que será el show mañana. Welcome guys, thank you very much to be here.
Thanks for having us.
What happened with to the fourth Kongos?
He quit.
He quit.
He quit the band, yeah.
He left the band.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, what can we expect from tomorrow's show in Bogota in Armando Records? What is different from the people who saw you a couple of years ago?
Well, the biggest difference is we've got a new album. So all new songs, that they've been hearing on the radio, they've been listening on Spotify and, the CD. None of the songs that they've heard live. So that's a big difference between the last time and now. And we've gotten better as a band in 2 years. We've toured and we've practiced, and yeah, we'll be a better band tomorrow.
Les preguntaba ya estuvieron Kongos, estuvo hace un par de años acá. Mañana presentarán un show en el que presentan su nuevo disco, en el que no se ha visto todavía en vivo, el público colombiano no lo ha visto en vivo. Son nuevas canciones que pues ya la gente ha tenido oportunidad de oír en redes sociales y dicen pues en tono de broma que ojalá hayan mejorado un poco. What can we expect of a Kongos live show? How are you? How do you define yourselves, and how do you make like a live show different from the record we can hear in?
Well, in the States we bring more production. Here it's harder to bring, the lights and stuff like that. So it's just energetic rock and roll. We extend sections and we just try to make it as energetic and as much of a party as we can. Sometimes the record can be like more Sunday music as opposed to Friday music. But tomorrow, even though it's Tuesday, it'll be a Friday.
Les preguntaba un poco también sobre qué vamos a encontrar, como es un show de Kongos en vivo, diferente a lo que se ve en lo que se oye en un disco. Hablan de que su música a veces puede ser un poco más suave, un poco música de domingo, pero que mañana, a pesar de ser martes, lo van a hacer lo más fiestero y enérgico posible. You're in the road of a Latin American tour. One of your last videos was a lyric video with Spanish subtitles. How important is for you to fit in to the Latin American audiences? How do you feel them related to you? How is this relationship with our Spanish?
I think we always were interested in coming to Latin America and to South America to play, but when we came 2 years ago, it really solidified it for us that this is an important, if not maybe the second most important market for us, because it's new, it's obviously developing, becoming very important in the world, and also we just love it here. It's fine, we'd love to be big in Germany and everywhere in the world, but we'd rather tour here. It's more fun, the food's better, the people are nicer, so it's very important for us.
But how did you were aware of this, that this was such a big market for you? When you were aware previously, or when the shows, how was this relationship built?
We had a little bit of a sense that we had fans in South America because of our social networks, like Instagram and Facebook and all that, but we had no idea that it was as big and enthusiastic as it was. When we came down here and we played the shows, like in Bogota at Armando Records and in Brazil and Argentina, people were singing all the songs, and not just the songs that they heard on the radio, but songs, deep cuts in the album, and that meant that they had spent a lot of time with our music, which was a really cool thing to see.
La banda Kongos ahorita está en una gira por Latinoamérica. De acá van a ir a México, ya estuvieron en Perú, en Brasil, en Chile, en Argentina, y les preguntaba sobre su relación con Latinoamérica, su deseo de conquistar este público. Hablaban un poco de que para ellos es mucho más emocionante este tipo de públicos, que se dieron cuenta que es el segundo mercado más importante que tienen que conquistar, la pasión de los públicos, y que se dieron cuenta que en los conciertos de hace 2 años, la gira que tuvieron hace 2 años, que incluyó a Colombia, la gente se sabía mucho más las canciones, y no solamente las famosas, sino unas canciones ocultas o las canciones desconocidas de los discos, lo que los hizo caer en cuenta que pues estos eran los públicos que realmente querían conquistar, y pues además de que la gente era más cálida y la comida mucho más rica. So guys, one of your best first like hits, or the biggest hit until the commercial hit was "Come With Me Now." That was a song featured all around. How is it? How is it the pressure? How do you feel? How is it important for a band like to have this hit? Does it create pressure? Does it feel like you get like stuck there? How is to have a worldwide hit?
One of those good problems, you know. But yeah, we it's hard to follow up a hit like that. But we tried not to think about that going into the studio, just to. Because when Johnny wrote that, he wasn't thinking about anything. You know, he was just thinking about that's a cool groove.
Nothing happening in my head.
You never think.
Right. Yeah, he's just thinking, this is a cool groove. You know, can somebody help me with this final lyric?
I think it's been a bit of a problem, you know, because everyone, it's particularly in America for us, it's been difficult because people here think we're the Come With Me Now band. They don't investigate. Surprisingly, actually, in Latin America, when we go now and play shows, I would say, as a percentage, more people are aware of the rest of us, and we've had a better, wider career here because obviously everyone knows that song, but they've investigated, like Dylan was saying, all the deeper songs. So that's been a problem that we're trying to get beyond. But like Danny says, it's a good problem. We'd rather have one hit than no hits, you know.
And musically, artistically, how are you this Kongos moment? Related to "Come With Me Now"? Is it you're still like attached to that song, or you're exploring new things and you're like that was a moment that was already
we still
by?
play it. Well, of course we still play it, but yeah, we're always trying to make new sounds, new songs. So even regardless, "Come With Me Now," it doesn't matter. "Lunatic," you know, we try to make "Egomaniac," we try to make different. The next one we'll try to
I think the fact we're all four brothers write, so there's always difference and variety in the sounds of what our albums sound like because you know none of us write the same way at all.
Tal vez uno de los grandes hits de Kongos es la canción "Come With Me Now", que estuvo como banda sonora de algunas películas, de videojuegos, fue un hit mundial que vendió miles de copias el sencillo y que pues se debe gran parte de la masificación de Kongos. Les preguntaba sobre la importancia o qué tanto pesa tener un sencillo tan fuerte en una banda, en la carrera de una banda, que tanto los estereotipan, y precisamente hablaban del rol de Latinoamérica, de lo importante que ha sido estos públicos, porque estos son públicos que sí conocen mucho más de la banda aparte de Kongos, que tal vez en otros lugares lo referencian todavía por "Come With Me Now", que pues como dicen es un problema, pero es un buen problema, que es mejor tener un hit comercial que no tener ninguno, y pues que de todas formas ellos se han despegado de eso, que han seguido trabajando como otros caminos musicales, actualmente la siguen tocando de todas formas, pero es una canción que pues les dio, que se vuelve un buen problema, que de todas formas es bueno tener una canción de ese tamaño. La escribió Johnny, y digamos que también la permitió. Kongos es una banda en donde los cuatro escriben, son cuatro hermanos donde los cuatro escriben, entonces también la banda no se ha quedado en Come With Me Now, sino que ha abierto muchos caminos. So you guys,
hell of a memory.
it's like the food, the Colombian food.
Yeah.
So you guys come from South Africa, London. You live in a time London. Now you're living in the US. I've read that you have like different influences. How does these all worldwide influences match? Does they appear in your music, or they're just like mere circumstances of?
It's probably both. You can hear some direct influences, you know, especially with the accordion that takes a lot rhythmically from South African pop music. And then also melodically he takes from Qawwali music, Indian and Pakistani accordion music. So yeah, you can hear certain influences very clearly, and other ones just more general, you know, like, you know, any number of Delta blues type American rock could have influenced us. And you can hear some of that in our music as well. Yeah, all around the world we take, you know, it seeps into your subconscious.
But could you say that you're a South African band, or you're like far away from like representing South African folklore?
There's certain things which are very South African, you know, certain rhythms. For "Come With Me Now," the rhythm in that is very similar to a slowed down house music called Kwaito from South Africa. And that the rest of the song is not at all like South African music, but the rhythm is very South African.
Yeah, I don't think we represent South African music. I think we have elements of rhythm and harmony in our music that sounds a little bit, you know, like South African music. We listen to a lot of South African music growing up, so it just comes out in little bits and pieces.
How long since you haven't lived in South Africa?
We haven't lived there since 1996, so it's been almost over 20 years. But yeah, we go back. We have family in the house there, so we go back almost every year for the holidays, for Christmas, or to play shows.
Kongos es una banda originaria de Sudáfrica, pero ahorita están radicados en Estados Unidos. Les preguntaba sobre las influencias de tantos lugares por los que han vivido, porque también vieron en Londres en una época. Hablan de que si bien tienen elementos, canciones como Come With Me Now, tiene un acordeón que viene de la música surafricana, no solamente se quedan en eso, son influencias de todo el mundo, incluso blues de Estados Unidos, sonidos un poco de Pakistán, de la India. Entonces pues no representan el folclore surafricano. No pueden decir que son una banda como surafricana en ese sentido, pero sí toman elementos de esa música. So guys, I wanted to ask you a final question. I was like checking your about in your website, and there's like this funny description of the band. Who's the guy in charge of this like humor touch in the band? Who's the guy who wrote?
That's Gary, our fifth brother.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't have any musical talents, so he gets
So
some
he
of the
writes.
he gets some of the other duties, and we've started to keep more in touch with him lately.
And this humor, these jokes are present in any other way in the band?
Well, it's particularly when you try to write an about page, you don't want to be one of those bands that writes like a long thing about how amazing you are and what a creative, brilliant artist and all that. So we just thought, let's put something stupid, and then let people listen to the music and they can decide whether we're brilliant artists or not. We are, but...
Si ustedes se meten a la página de Kongos, van a ver en el About, en la descripción de la banda, una descripción muy graciosa. Voy a leer un poco que dice: K for cool, O for awesome, N for knowledge, G for genius, O for artistic, S for spelling, que no tiene ningún sentido, está mal escrito. Entonces les preguntaba un poco por de dónde viene esto, quién es el encargado de ellos, y me dicen que es el quinto hermano, que no escribe música, pero es el encargado de esto, que no querían como tener ese About como un poco pretencioso o que fuera por otro lado, entonces más bien describir una descripción un poco absurda. So guys, I want to thank you very much for your time. Have a great time tomorrow in your show. Please invite people from Shock to go tomorrow. And
Yes, it's at Armando Records, so come tomorrow and we'll see you there.
What he said is correct.
Bueno, y ustedes, me dicen que hay dos preguntas.
We can tell them
Vamos a tener una chiva.
yeah, we'll start with Repeat After Me.
Whoever asked that question, you better come to the show then.
We will start with Repeat After Me and then we will end the concert. So
Just one song.
one and done.
La preguntas de la gente, que con cuál canción iban a abrir mañana, y pues después de la duda,
Repeat After Me.
Me. Y después no va a haber más. No more songs.
No.
Just one song.
I think touring with Kings of Leon was a big deal for all of us because we got to see a real show at the level that we want to put a show on, and they were fucking amazing. So, I wasn't that big of a fan. I only knew their two hits, and then we toured with them and got to see the whole show, and it was a big
When
influence
was
on
this?
us. This was end of 2014, right? Or somewhere around there, yeah.
And how was this link done? How was this?
Well, we briefcases of money. Yeah. No, I
As
don't know
everything is
how.
done.
I don't know how somebody.
They were looking for openers, and initially they wanted to put a bill together of only family bands. So like, because they're brothers and a cousin, so it was going to be, I think, like them, us, and Haim.
Yeah.
But it ended up falling apart. So it was them, us, and Young the Giant. And we had, Come With Me Now was a big hit at that time, and we were the first band of three, and it was one of the best tours we ever did.
And this was just in the US or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just across the U.S.
Una pregunta que también de la gente, que cuáles bandas los han influido. Hablaban de Kings of Leon, una banda con la que giraron a finales del 2014, gracias como a una convocatoria, una búsqueda que estaba haciendo Kings of Leon, coincidió con el éxito de Come With Me Now, y estaban buscando bandas de hermanos, dado que Kings of Leon también es una banda familiar. Ellos estaban ahí también, pues estaban en su momento más fuerte, era una banda de hermanos. La idea era que también estuviera con Young the Giant y Haim, pero terminaron siendo ellos, y pues giraron con Kings of Leon, una banda de la que solo conocían dos canciones, pero que marcó una gran influencia.
everything so far.
Yeah, there's not much we don't like about Colombia so far. The coffee, I had the best macchiato I've ever had today.
I think that's the trick. You arrive here,
Yeah,
the elevation's high in Bogota, and then you have a coffee,
and then you
and
feel
then you
high.
feel high, so everything's amazing.
The food, the people have been so friendly. I remember from last time just people being so kind of really amped and enthusiastic, but at the same time respectful and kind and not psychos. You know, where some people can be really enthusiastic and be psychopaths.
Yeah. Especially in Houston.
Yeah.
That's it. Que les preguntaban que les gustaba mucho de Colombia, decían que la gente, la comida, decían que era un truco de pronto que con la altura la gente ya mareada, pero al tomarse un café ya quedan absolutamente high, un poco elevados, entonces hacen que todo les guste, que la gente es muy amable y es muy apasionada, pero no psicópatas como pueden encontrar en Houston. Back home. Bueno, pues muchísimas gracias a ustedes por estar conectados. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Invitados todos mañana Armando Records, Kongos. Is there gonna be a band, another band with you, or just you?
I don't think there is.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think there's a DJ.
DJ, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
We'll
Buena-
play for long though.
Yeah.
Buena fiesta de martes, entonces todos invitados y muchísimas gracias por estar aquí conectados.
Bye.